Hello everybody, welcome one more time. We are staying at the Wahweap campground by Lake Powell, near Page, Arizona. After our long journey along the Four Corners region of the United States, we have decided to spend a day here at this beautiful place and relax. We walk along this path a little over a mile to the main resort, where we are going to take a boat tour of the lake. We're going to see Antelope Canyon, the part that is underwater, and the Navajo Canyon. And we depart. The Navajo Power Station, ever present. And that's the hotel up there. With this view of Castle Rock to the left, we're going to go around Antelope Island, which, due to the marked fluctuations in water levels, sometimes it is actually a peninsula. Here's the Wahweap Marina, with over 500 vessels, worth as a whole many millions of dollars. The reason the water level shifts so dramatically, historically over 100 feet, is because Lake Powell is actually an artificial lake, a reservoir, so the water level depends on the seasonal snow runoff of the Colorado River coming from the mountains. The lake was created by flooding Glen Canyon when they constructed the Glen Canyon Dam. Completed in 1963, it took 11 years for the water level to rise to the high water mark. We continue speeding away on the south side of Antelope Island towards the Antelope Canyon. The canyon is apparently very popular with canoers, and why not? Look at this place. It's beautiful. I always get a kick out of seeing people taking pictures with iPads. It just doesn't feel right, does it? Isn't that nice? Your own little crack on the side of the canyon, in the shade, to take a break. The canyon narrows until the point where we must turn around, back out into the lake, admiring these astounding shapes carved in the sandstone by erosion over the course of thousands of years. And we are back by this narrow stretch of water with Antelope Island to our left. Our next stop is the Navajo Canyon, but first we must pass by the Antelope Point Marina. Look at all these luxurious houseboats. We see the Tower Butte in the distance. Once again, we see the butte lurking behind the sandstone. We finally start approaching Navajo Canyon. If memory serves correctly, we encountered another Navajo Canyon back at Mesa Verde National Park. I guess the guy who named this one didn't realize someone had already used the same name elsewhere. It's understandable, I guess, given the distance and remoteness of this area. The Navajo Canyon is one of Lake Powell's 96 canyons, and is one of the longest ones. Here we see a great example of what is called the Navajo Tapestry. This mix of colors found on the sandstone wall. It almost looks like a mural, but made by nature. Iron oxide and manganese residue from above drapes down the side of the canyon over the course of centuries. And this nature work of art is what we get. We learned the difference between a butte and a mesa. It turns a butte is taller than it is wide, and a mesa, well, wider than it is tall. We head back with the Castle Rock ahead of us, going back through this narrow canal only because this year the water level is high enough. Otherwise we would have had to turn around the way we came. And we are back by the Wahweap Marina, and this is the end of our boat tour. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of obsessed with that butte. What can I say? Time to get on the road again, although we'll be back here at the campground tonight once again to sleep. Right now we're going to visit Lower Antelope Canyon, which is nearby. Not the part we just visited by the lake, but the part above water, which is probably the more famous one. It is a slot canyon, which is a canyon which is much narrower than it is tall, and it is formed by the wear of water rushing through the rock. The drive from the campground is about 14 miles. And here we are. The entrance is by this dirt road near the Navajo power station. The total price for the 1-hour tour is $28 per person, cash only, and that includes a Navajo permit. We follow our young Navajo guide down to the canyon under the scorching sun. We begin our descent into the canyon down these steep stairs. At the bottom, the temperature is much cooler, thank goodness. The different colors on the rock, we learn, are caused by the way it reflects sunlight at different angles, creating all these surreal effects. All the rock is actually pretty much the same color. Lower Antelope Canyon is open to the public 7 days a week. It only closes when rain is in the forecast because of the high risk of flash floods. We have taken one of the 2 tours available. This one is operated by Ken Tours. Overall, it's a very nice experience. By the way, as I said earlier, this is Lower Antelope Canyon. There is also an Upper Antelope Canyon, which is a little taller with flatter terrain and more accessible, but much more crowded as well, and more expensive. You actually have to book the tour back at Page, Arizona, and they bring you to the entrance of the canyon by jeep. If you have accessibility issues, that one may be the one for you. But we have chosen the Lower Canyon and we don't regret it one bit. I mean, look at this place. This is surreal. Climbing the stairs of the Antelope Canyon, the Lower Antelope Canyon. An hour later, we emerge on the other side. We get back on the road promptly, going towards the Horseshoe Bend. There is this rather challenging trail to get to it, especially for our exhausted and out-of-shape bodies. But we keep going anyways. At the end of the trail there is this horseshoe-shaped meander of the Colorado River, which, by the way, is very well worth the mile-long trail. And here it is in all its glory. Again, one of those places where the 2D camera just doesn't really do it justice. There are numerous photographers by the edge of the cliff capturing this very photogenic place. We start heading back up the trail, looking back one last time for this great look from the distance. Let's return to the RV, shall we? We make one last stop at the Wahweap Point. From this vantage point, we can see this commanding view of the South Lake Powell, the area we visited by boat earlier. Enjoying this beautiful view is a fitting end to a wonderful day. There's the marina, and the resort and campground, and the tour boat, just like the one we took this morning. And that's all for today. Tomorrow our journey takes us to Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef National Park, and Goblin Valley. Way too much driving as we start heading back to the Rockies and eventually Denver. Until then, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road. Before you go, remember to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and if you want to see the whole trip from beginning to end, check out the Four Corners playlist on YouTube. Bye now. The holding tanks are full, so somebody gotta do the nasty business. I'm gonna show you what I intend to do. I have it ready here, ready. First, we're gonna do the black water tank, which is usually the thicker pipe. This is the nasty stuff. So you take, this is the valve, and just go up and down it goes. Make sure we close that valve, and now we're gonna open the fresh water, which is gonna, clean the hose basically. And it goes like this. And here all the not fresh water, gray water. Now I'm gonna leave that fresh water valve open because we're gonna take a shower now.